So we're gonna make one of my favorites as well, which is a chicken and veggie hibachi. So this is only gonna take us 15 minutes to make start to finish. And what I love about it is it's all made in one saute pan. For this recipe, you'll need 1 pound of chicken, a tablespoon of avocado oil, 2 tablespoons of minced garlic, a ½ teaspoon of dried ginger, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 medium onion, 2 small zucchini, 1 large bell pepper, a 1/4 cup of water, and a tablespoon of soy sauce. So to the saute pan, I just added some oil and cut up some chicken that's kind of evenly cut. And then we're cooking it over medium-high heat.
Okay.
And then Emily, you can cut up some veggies.
Okay.
And I have a zucchini, bell pepper, and onion, but you could really use any type of hibachi vegetable.
Yeah.
So like mushrooms would be good, broccoli would be good. Really whatever you like can go into this hibachi.
Okay.
And I'm gonna stir the chicken up. We cooked it on one side. Now we're gonna kind of stir it. And once it's halfway done cooking, so we've already cooked one side of the chicken, I'm gonna add some ginger and some garlic.
Those are the magic ingredients.
That's right. And if you do have picky eaters and you don't want to add the ginger, this is perfect without the ginger as well. There we go. So I feel like even though you were saying your kids aren't little anymore, it makes dinner time a little easier. You've started a whole new adventure in life that
sure have.
has kind of made life a little bit more of
Interesting.
a challenge.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
tell us about what you've been doing
Yeah,
lately.
so my previous company changed their business model, and so that was really our main source of income that we had to quickly look to what are we going to do next. And so I'm so thankful. God is so faithful, and I feel like, you know, even if it's a surprise to us, He's never surprised.
Yeah.
You know, He knows the end from the beginning and beginning to the end. And so, you know, I really saw, like, if I look at it, He truly went before us to prepare the way. And, you know, we found a new company to partner with, and it's a whole learning experience. So it's definitely, there's a learning curve involved. But, you know, I'm seeing how it was an answered prayer without even realizing I was needing and praying for something new. You know? And so I'm just, it's a lot all at once. But, you know, I also, like, these are the moments where we just see the faithfulness of God, you know, even in the unknown. We just see that, you know, I've just sensed His presence, His peace, His faithfulness, His provision. Even in some of the scariest times of not knowing.
Because when your company went kind of to closing doors, something that you've always known as constant as far as income and just what your next steps will be for, what was it, 15 years, 10 years?
Yeah, for mom and, you know, for mom and Sarah, our sister, you know, that was 17, 18 years. But for me, it was the past 8.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was constant to us, constant
And then all of a sudden
and
it stopped. And there was no real warning. So you can imagine that's really scary.
Yeah.
And just watching you go through that, I had a lot of compassion for you, because there's also a grieving process with every loss. And whether it's closing the doors of a business or, you know, losing a family member or tragedy of any kind in our life, it really is a grieving process.
It is, especially when there's people involved, you know, friendships. It felt like, you know, just a really hard thing. But, you know, thank God that He always provides new. He's a God of restoration, and that's what I've realized, you know, through all of this is, even if something looks like it's been taken away, God always restores and gives you something new.
He truly does. But it's also okay to go through grieving, right?
Yeah.
And you did. You did.
We sure did.
And so you went through that, and you allowed your emotions and everything else to just be processed, and you brought it all to the Lord, and you worked through it. But at the end of the day, you always held on to that one anchor of hope, which is that God restores all things.
Yes, and I thank God that I have Him, because I don't know how I could have gotten through something hard without His peace, His protection, His provision. Truly, He was my source of constant, even when something that felt stable was taken away.
Yeah, absolutely. So I just cooked this until it was cooked all the way through and then added 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. I'm gonna let that cook off so that the soy sauce kind of browns the chicken, and then we're gonna add our veggies. So as you can see, the chicken is looking really good now, and now it's
so
nice
good.
and brown from the soy sauce. So that's how you know that the flavor is all locked in there and it's ready to go. You do wanna make sure you cut into your thickest piece of chicken, just right in half, and just make sure it's no longer pink, and that's how you'll know it's done and cooked through.
It smells so good.
It smells so good. So ginger and garlic and soy sauce, so good. So then you don't really need to even clean out your pan unless you have like really black on the bottom. You definitely will want to clean that out. And then we're gonna add about another tablespoon of avocado oil to our pan, and we're gonna add our veggies. So definitely take your chicken out of the pan before you do this. Otherwise, you're gonna end up with really steamed vegetables. And you can do this on a griddle. I actually love to make it on a griddle, so like a pancake griddle or any kind of big saute pan is great because it kind of cooks it a little bit more evenly and even quicker. So to our veggies, I'm gonna add about a 1/4 cup of water. And this is a trick that I like to do with veggies without adding more oil. So a lot of times you just think, oh, the veggies need to cook longer, I need to add more oil. Well, actually, if you just add just a little bit of water, usually it's just a few tablespoons in the very beginning of cooking, and you can even cover them, it just makes them cook a little bit faster with that steam without adding more oil. And so we're gonna add that, and then we're gonna add at the very end just about another tablespoon of soy sauce, and it'll be just like the chicken. We're gonna get nice, sauteed veggies, a little bit brown. And really, you can cook the veggies to your liking.
Yeah.
So if you like them a little more tender, you can do that, or a little more crispy, you can do that as well. So,
And this meal, like you can go to one of those hibachi places, which we love because it's a fun experience. They do all of the fire up on the grill, but you do spend a pretty penny at those kind of meals.
yeah, absolutely. It is a
So,
fun
this is
experience,
easy.
like you said. But
Yeah.
yeah, this is great to have it just at home.
Yeah.
And I even make sometimes the sauce that goes with it at the restaurant.
Yum yum sauce.
Yes. So I actually have that recipe on Dashing Dish as well because
do.
Sean requested that. And it's really easy to make. So you just put a few ingredients into a bowl, stir it up.
My kids love your sauce.
Yeah, so you can even serve that with this meal as well.
Yeah.
So definitely try this one at home, 15 minutes, everyone will love it. And Maddie only eats the chicken and the rice, so if you have a picky eater, it works out well for that too.